of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. Hey yo, heart of a villain beats hard in the centrifuge. Bearded BP, 100 interviews. All it takes is 2 mics and 1 line. This is Bearded Villains podcast worldwide. Driving cross countries, getting ball tires. Fam across ponds, always inspired. Chapters connect, and then it's on fire. Check your phone, cause BV is like a live wire. They said that we couldn't do it. From the start to the finish, go hard.
Hello. How are we doing tonight? All right, it is a Thursday night. We're back on Thursday this week. Thursday, July 18th, and you are here for episode 222 of The Heart of a Villain, the podcast and live stream devoted to the Bearded Villains Worldwide Brotherhood. All of our brothers all over. Yes. Man. Hey, what are we going to do tonight? Well, what are we going to do? Well, I think we're going to talk about an event that's going to be going on in a couple of weeks down south. I'm talking about Louisiana. I'm talking about New Orleans or Narlands or however you say it. I'm from Northern Indiana, so I'll never say it right. Oh, man, I'm looking forward to it, though, because I'm going down there. Can't wait to see all of the brothers that are going to be hanging out with us down there. It's going to be a fun and hot time. But, hey, everyone is here tonight. Thank you guys so much for being here, hanging out with us. You could be doing one of a billion other things tonight. I'm sure that would probably be more productive of your time and probably even more fun. But I appreciate you for being here live, as I always do every week, guys. It's always fun. It's always fun. So thank you guys so much for being here. Tonight, as I said, we're going to be talking about the upcoming event. Yeah, the World Meet. Yeah, in New Orleans. We're going to be talking with Morgan, captain of Lousiana Villains. He's going to give us a rundown of everything that you can, anything you could possibly want to know, and even probably some you didn't need to know. I questioned him. We got to talking about some stuff, and I wanted him to kind of roll through the whole story and how, what the original plans were, how things have had to pivot, because they've had to pivot. And the guys down there have done a great job getting things ready in not the best circumstances, really, in order for this event to happen. So it's a rather long interview. So you're going to have to sit back, get your popcorn ready. While we're doing these first little bit of stuff in here, make sure you get your drinks ready. Make sure you get your popcorn. Take your phone with you or whatever else you can to hit the restroom. Make sure you've done that. You don't want to miss out. It's a fun interview with Morgan. But hey, before we get too far into this, I want to say hey and give a shout out to everybody who is here live with us that I can actually see who is here live. If you're not in the comments section, I don't know that you're here, so have to, I'll bring you in and give you a shout out if I know you're here. So Shifty's hanging out with us tonight. He says he's just waiting around for midnight to play NCAA. I've seen some people already be playing that, so I don't know if they have to be if they're like an early arriver or something like that, but I've seen some people already playing that. So Glenn is here hanging out with us. Wow. What's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you guys here. Glenn says, Rob says Glenn. I'm trying to read everybody's comments here as we go. Rob is here hanging out with us. He says, what's up, fam? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Lurch is here. Oi, oi, oi. Good to see you here, sir. Good to see you tonight. Thank you so much for being here. Jason's also hanging out with us. Gentlemen, how you doing? Good to see you. Jason's hanging out with us as well. How you doing, sir? Good to see you. Let's see who else we've got in here. We got the Schmirker Chef. Schmirk Chef. It's always fun to say. And I can't say it any other way. I'd be crazy if I did. Mars is here hanging out with us as well. Good seeing you here, Mars. Hopefully maybe I can find some time to jump back onto the call tomorrow night and say hey to the bros. I missed that. It's been a few weeks since I've been able to hang out with the Lakeshore boys, the Lakeshore chat with everybody. So last week I finally got to hang out with them for a little bit. That was a good time. Rob is also here hanging out with us. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, sir, to you. I get to play host to Mr. Robaba in just a couple of weeks. So looking forward to that. Jake is here hanging out with us as well. How you doing, Jake? Good to see you. Good to see you. Mr. Ramsey, of course, is here with us as well. I don't know if I'm up on your big screen tonight, Dave, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it for sure, as always. Buddy's hanging out with us as well. Buddy, how you doing? How you doing? Good to see it. Lance is also here hanging out with us. Good evening, brothers. Man, we got a nice crowd in here tonight. Jason is also here with us. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Let's see. Do we got anybody else in our comments section here that I have not said hello to so far? Bear Duck is here with us as well. What's up, brothers? North Wisconsin hopeful, he says. Hey, all right. Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. All right, let's see. We got Drew Berman here. Drew Berman. Anytime you shove a name together like that and it's all one big, you're going to get it. Drew Berman. That's how you're going to get it. That's how I'll introduce you here. Ducks. I don't know if you just changed things up or what. Good to see you. Good to see you. Big Al. How you doing, Big Al? Good to see you here. Oh, man. No, he just picked up his NCAA game too. So good to see. I'm sure he's going to have a blast with that tonight as well. Let's see. Anybody else hanging out with us? Nope. All right. So I've said hello to everyone in our comments section, I think, so far that's hanging out with us. I do appreciate you guys so much for being here. Again, it is July 18th, and we are here for episode 222, and we're going to be talking about the World Meet in just a few minutes. I have a couple of other things that I want to cover here real quick and give a couple shout-outs and whatnot to some things. So let's just jump into that. First thing I want to do is talk a little bit about merch, and I want to just give a shout-out about a couple of merch items that I came across in the last week. Now, just as a reminder, if your chapter is doing something cool, merch-wise, right, and you're trying to raise money for some charity stuff or you're whatever it is you're trying to do, make sure you give me a shout out so I can at least get the word out, share it here on the show for the 5 or 6 people that might, hey, you never know who's watching, right? But I want to get the word out. I want to be able to, share all the stuff that you guys are doing out there. So first up on the docket today, I want to give a shout out to Richmond Villains. They've got a sticker and a patch, St. Francis Service Dogs patch and sticker. They are not as a set, but they are available for purchase individually. And I mean to tell you, I had to do a double take when I saw this because I thought that this was like some digital representation of said image, but no, these are actually this is how clean the sticker and the patch look. So very, very cool. And but go over there, Richmond Villains, support them and their efforts to raise some money with the St. Francis Service Dog patch and sticker. Get over there to Richmond Villains and grab one of those things. Very, very cool stuff. And then also I want to give a shout out. The only other one that I have that's new-ish tonight is one that dropped from Alberta. They dropped a little video, and I don't have any audio to play with this because I never know what the audio track is with that and if you're going to get struck or whatever else. But they have a summer sale that's going on this week only. So we don't want to miss out on it. We got some shirts. We got various shirts. We got T-shirts. We've got men's and women's. We've got hoodies. I don't know why you have hoodies in summer as a summer sale, but hey, to each their own. It is Canada after all. Get them while you can. They got all sorts of new merch that's on this summer sale. That's this week only. So get out there, get up there, wherever you are. Go check out the stuff that's in the summer sale this week only from Alberta. Good to see it. Good to see it. All right, guys. So, but if you have something else going on, please let me know. I see Jason saying that they still have their autism patches available if anyone is interested. And you know what? I used to have. No, I don't think I still have it on the docket here. So I apologize. But they still have their autism patches. Those things are really cool too. So if you like to collect, sets of things, and you're one of those that really likes to collect the autism stuff, the autism patches and sets, and you don't have the most recent one that Smoky Mountain put out there, go out and find it. It's nice. It's nice patch. So next up, I just want to give a shout out, if I can, to a chapter who I saw something kind of cool that they had put out. Anytime that I come across or I see, this is something I came across. They didn't send this to me. Bad guys. You should be sending stuff to me so I don't have to search. So I don't want to have to search just to give you give you props, right? So I want to give a shout out here to New Mexico, BV New Mexico. They just recently did a charity event. They're calling. I'll just read you what's on their post here. They said when they posted this, another great day for toys. We were able to make lots of deserving children and their families very happy. We love us some Christmas in July. Christmas in July is always a good time, right? Especially when you're doing stuff for charity. So big shout out to BV New Mexico for their efforts to make some families and some kids especially very happy in this Christmas in July time period. So great job, guys. Excuse me. Great job indeed. All right. Well, I need a sip. Here. Tonight, I went a little bit higher end for the bourbon choice for the night. Tonight we're doing the Sweetens Cove Tennessee, moderately priced bottle. One of these days, I'm going to get one of these whiskey companies on board here as a sponsor, right? Let's get everybody help me out with that. While you're trying to get all those subscribers to get in here, so we can subscribe to the show, we still got to find a good some whiskey company that's worthwhile. So cheers. All right. Well, we talk about this a lot, and we more often than not recently, we've lost some brothers, man, and some very important people and some very respected people we've lost in our BV world in the last several months, really. We've lost this year alone, and we lost another one this past week, and I want to give a shout out and pay a little homage to our chapter, Smoky Mountain, and I want to just say that our thoughts and prayers are with you for the passing of Carl. And I met this dude a couple times at different events that were going on down there in the that Smokey would either host or that were down there in Tennessee. And it's it's one of those things again where we have this huge brotherhood, and it's growing all the time, and the people that come into our lives, they mean something to us. They're the ones that stick. And so our thoughts and prayers right now are with Smoky Mountain and everybody who knew Carl really well. I know Big Al is it's been a rough one for you, buddy. I've heard, but you got a great support system down there to help you out. And I just wanted to say, because I didn't know him real well. I met him a few times, but I didn't know him real well. And I was passed on a little note that I wanted to make sure that I read, talking a little bit about Carl. And I was told Carl's been an honorary member of Smoky Mountain since 2020. And Big Al, buddy, Big Al was the closest thing he had to family, he said. But he was a huge Journey fan, and I can get on board with that. One of the best rock groups ever. Steve Perry's voice. You can't tell me that there's many. He's top 5 for me, maybe top 3 vocalist ever. His voice still gives me chills. But Journey, I'm on board with you, Carl. Journey as well. Huge Journey fan, as well as a huge NASCAR fan. I can appreciate that as well. And apparently also a huge fan of Dr. Pepper, and you were a friend of his forever if you brought him a Dr. Pepper. So he'd be your best friend forever, I was told. But man, this is that the hard part about being a part of this huge brotherhood that we have. We meet some amazing people. They come into our lives and they leave indelible marks in our lives. And for many, this was Carl. And so we definitely have to keep our thoughts and prayers with everyone who was a brother, everyone who was close with Carl this week, and in the coming days for sure. So our thoughts and prayers are with you all. All right. Well, we have an event coming up in New Orleans in a couple weeks. And I want to give a shout out to those boys because they have had to pivot a few times over, as you're going to hear from Morgan here a little bit with the planning for this meetup. And this is, like I said, I hope you have your popcorn ready and your drinks ready to go. I know I'm here with mine ready to go. Cheers again. But I want to share my interview I recorded with Morgan, and we're talking World Meat. We're talking about, you're going to get some inside scoop here. You're going to get a little bit of inside scoop as far as, the planning and what has changed. And I hope everybody appreciates. I hope everybody appreciates really what this has been for them, and so that we can go on down there. Everybody that's planning on going to this thing and go into it with just happy, open hearts and ready to have a great time. So here is my interview with Morgan. We're going to talk about this meetup that's coming up, the World Meet in New Orleans. Well, boys and girls, coming up August 2nd through the 4th. We've been waiting a long time to get together in New Orleans, and we're finally going to do it. Louisiana is going to be the hosts, and they have gone through it, folks. They have gone through it, prepping for this weekend to make sure all the villains that are coming into town are going to have an awesome time. And so here today to talk to us about everything that is this World Meet related is, you guessed it, Morgan. How you doing?
How's it going?
Oh, man. First of all, thanks for coming on. It's been a bit since I've actually been able to see you. I think it's been a long time, seems like.
Yeah.
But other than just the occasional video call and whatnot. But, man, first of all, kudos to you and the chapter guys for everything that you've done to make sure that this thing came off as a success. And I'm looking forward to coming down. I know that all sorts of stuff has had to pivot and change, and we'll get into that in just a minute. But just real quick, can you talk for a minute about what Louisiana's been up to, man? What have you guys been up to the last year or so?
Yeah, I mean, dude, man, it's definitely been a lot of stuff. I mean, for the chapter, for everybody, it's we definitely have been working hard for this event, and it has not been easy. But in Louisiana fashion, man, you just pick up and you keep going with it. You don't stop. If things get torn down, you just build again and you keep at it. There's definitely been it's been a lot. There's like you mentioned, like we've had to pivot a lot with this event. Originally, doing the whole Mardi Gras ball and catering and everything else. It didn't seem to work out. We had our main caterer and stuff like that. He donated all his time, and he had companies donating ingredients and shit. Well, Jeff Eggroll is suffering from seizures nonstop, so they told him he can't cook anymore, which is a very big deal to him, especially as a guy who not only for, Bearded Villain stuff over the years, but he's a very big guy in his community that just donates and cooks. Like that's all he does, for Southeastern and everything else. And even our most of our meets, we've always had something to do with egg roll. Even our biggest raisin fundraiser was years ago, which just him alone, what he was able to do with Southeastern, raised like $30-something thousand for veterans. So it's a big hit for that. And, everybody has been great. Everybody just has told us to pass on, that Jeff is in their prayers and everything else, that, they be able to get a hold of this, and hopefully he gets to return back to cooking, which is his passion. Yeah, it's been crazy. I don't know which part we would touch on first.
Yeah, well, I mean, because I think it's important that, I mean, a lot of people know that there's been a whole bunch of changes that you've had to do and a lot of pivoting, but let's, I wouldn't normally like to say, hey, tell us what could have been. Tell us what the
Yeah.
original, I really, usually I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go, hey, we're just going to tease you with what could have been. But I think it's important because as part of this story with what you guys have had to do and where you've had to pivot with this thing, can you talk for a minute about, you guys have been planning for this for over a year, I know,
5 years
and
actually.
yeah, well, from the time that you knew you had it, that it
Yeah.
was going to be held here. Originally, with your plans, where did things start, and what kind of things were the original plans that you've had to pivot from, and then we'll just kind of transition into where it's taken you now and what it's pivoted to.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of what we're still being able to do. But originally, like I said, it was a Mardi Gras ball. Um, it was catered event, so that was a big difference for BV, who's used to just doing basically beer comps. Well, this a catering thing needed everybody to buy tickets very far in advance, which it's not a great thing. When you have when people are trying to come from all over, there's a lot of moving parts, which we totally understand now. That was it was kind of a leap. We had the problem with, like you said, the catering, so we don't have catering, but we are in the talks of having food trucks there, because the last thing we want is y'all to be able to drink and stuff like that, and everybody just has nothing to eat because you kind of need food with alcohol, which, food's a big part of Louisiana. So,
Yeah, right.
um, so that has changed. And for the people that were able to, pre-order and everything else, we are refunding them $25 per ticket, to do all that, which we're going to be working, trying to get that out either via back to the credit card or something we could do at the event. Everybody's definitely going to do it. But the food was a main part of the charity. It was a big portion of what was being donated. So, we have stuck to at the door, though, it's still $100, which we're just pushing that on to the charity instead of, making them suffer for things that they had no control of and it just kind of nobody has control over.
Yeah.
We were hoping to do at one point. We were trying to do like have a second band, a second line band and stuff like that. Some of the guys were like, "Yeah, we could do like a walk through the quarter, Bourbon Street type of thing with a band." It wasn't feasible. Um, you know how it is, dude, man. We were talking about trying to have buses there to pick people because, of course, now this hotel is on Canal Street. Of course, years after we originally started talking, because we were given World Meet actually before Chicago, and we just kept switching with people. We're like, oh yeah, we got plenty of time and stuff like that. So, but a lot of the hotel wouldn't talk to us until it became a year, less than a year away from the date.
Okay.
And that was like one of the first problems that we had is, yeah, the hotel we were supposed to do the venue at actually booked it to somebody else because they were a big company. So it was just, but it was kind of a blessing in disguise. Like we found the Generation Hall, which would ended up being cheaper, and it's just a cooler venue. So it kind of works out. So even the bad stuff, it was great to find things to try to keep the idea of kind of what we're still doing. It's just not on such a grand scale, type of stuff.
Yeah, I think when we first heard about it, you first hear about. First of all, I didn't know that you were originally supposed to have it before Chicago, and you've been actually kind of waiting this long for all these ideas. I can only imagine. I mean, if you go that far back, all these ideas that have been percolating in your head. Well, maybe this could be cool. Maybe this could be cool, and then
Yeah.
trying to make them actually come to life once you knew. Okay, here's the date, and now we're a year out, but. Man, I had no idea that the original hotel would have actually been more expensive than that's wow.
Well, they wouldn't, because we were all about trying to plan it out, and we asked them like, "Hey, we want to start talking about stuff," and they're like, "No, no, no, we don't talk about stuff until it gets closer." And then when it came out to, because they don't allow outside catering, so we were going to use their catering stuff, dude.
Oh,
One item, like one tray item, $8 for a tray item. We're like, why wouldn't y'all talk to us about this? Like, this is stuff we could have used. And it was just, dude, like everything that we wanted to do, like this whole year we've been scrounging to try to find something, kind of in the same line to give people that feel to it and stuff, which, I mean, at the end of the day, it's hard not to have fun in New Orleans, especially when you're, you're surrounded by so many friends and everything else. And it's always a fun time. It's just, you always want people coming down, especially for our culture. We want y'all to have so much fun. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that was a struggle for us. It's like we had expectation and gains for like way up here, and then you kind of have to lower it a little bit, which honestly nobody would still know, but to us, it's like, man, it was
Right.
supposed to happen different.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, but I think, and you've said this, I know, in some of the chats that I've seen you in, and video calls that you've talked about with guys over the last several months. That the great thing, I think, and it sounds like people are in the right mindset, and they're not focused so much on what do we get to see or what do we get to take part in. It's more or less, I'm excited to go hang out with the brothers that I haven't seen in a year or 6 months or longer than that even. And I think that's one of the cool parts about meets like this, is that some people plan a year out. That's if they can only travel to one event, they look for that big event that they want to go to. And so there's a lot of guys that they're only able to go to one event a year, so you only get a chance to see them and hang out with them once a year. And I think that's the focus, and I think you've done a good job of kind of reining things in and reminding guys, hey, this is what it's about, doing this and helping to raise money for the charity and being there for each other now more than ever. I mean, now
yeah.
now more than ever, and we can touch on some of that in just in a few minutes. But I think it's one of those things that it's going to be an interesting gathering of guys, and hopefully it's a really, really positive situation where a bunch of guys that haven't seen each other for a bit can hang out and just enjoy the time together, and not focus on what could have been, because it's, in the end, that's not really what it's about. And I know
Yeah.
I know you guys may be sore about because what you were planning on originally, but I think at the end of the day, it's going to be just bros hanging out.
Well, and I think that's still one of the great things about the Saturday. Like, so it's Friday at the brewery, which is a hangout type of stuff. We're going to have like a low key. We didn't even want to do a beard comp, but we had so many people like, man, I want to be in a beard comp. And we're like, all right, shit, let's do a beard comp. Like this was supposed to be literally, BV was everybody was saying they're so tired of beard comps. And we're like, you know what? Let's try a Mardi Gras ball. And then people threw a fit that we didn't have a beard comp. So we threw together a last minute beard comp. And one of the funniest, categories is, I think it's hilarious. Other people might. It's a participation category. Like you literally donate your money to the charity, walk across the stage, and we give you a little certificate that said, basically, thank you for here's your participation. And I think it's hilarious, and it's a way that it could give everybody that chance. Like, oh look, technically, I placed in a BV beard comp and stuff like that. And it's something to have fun with. And but so yeah, and then another, like, to your point, something just to hang out low key is Saturday. There's no big huge extravagant thing. It's literally eat, drink, hang out. We got silent auctions, raffles, different stuff, and there's no really agenda besides getting to talk to people and hanging out. There's no, like, craziness of it and stuff. And so I'm still excited for that. And I would love to see, not necessarily 100% get away from beard comps, but I think sometimes we pack shit too much, and you don't get to sit there and enjoy just that camaraderie of talking to people. Like, I know we have a couple guys from Germany, one from the Netherlands, a UK guy. I want to say maybe a couple South American guys and stuff,
Wow.
Canadians. So I'm pretty excited. Some of these guys, they said they never really been to meets outside of, Europe and stuff. So I think it's gonna be really cool, and especially where there's no real more agenda to it besides just hanging out. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things our club needs at this moment, is to just remember how much fun it was when all we did was want to just sit there and hang out and talk to each other. So
Yeah, I think you're dead on there. It's and it's funny because it's become, I've said this several times in the last like year and a half, it's become commonplace now that everything is a beard comp. Every event has a beard comp at it, which that's fine. That's all great. We are creatures of comfort, and we copycat each other to death. And so, you see one and you're like, that becomes the easy default thing to do, raise money for charity. And more and more and more, I know when when I first went to my first beard comp, back 2017 times, it was like, oh, it was kind of a new thing. And even to the people that had been around for the club for a couple of years, it was still kind of a new thing. And now, all these years later, now for some people, 10 years later, going to these things and seeing beard, it's just like, oh, geez, I don't want another beard comp. And but they still do it because that's the easy thing to get the money that you're trying to do for. So we're not too inventive about things. And I wish
No.
more, I wish more and more would try to pivot in some way, shape, or form to figure out something else that can be done. But I like the way that you're focusing that the beard comp is not the thing. It's just part of the weekend. And I think that's a great way to look at it. One of my favorite that I've talked about before on the show several times, one of the favorite things that I've noticed about the European chapters, especially the ones, when I went over to Monkey Jam, that was the first event that I'd been to over there. And they do have a beard comp, but it's like so undermined and such a small, minute part of the thing. They basically it's an outdoor, indoor bar. And they're like, anybody that wants to be in the beard comp, go over here in this room, 5 minutes from now. And then it's super low key. It takes about 10 minutes. They just go, good, good, good. Okay, here's first place. And you walk back away and you're done. I mean, it's like, it's just one more little thing. Okay, here's a little bit extra money to and sometimes they don't even charge for it. It's just one of those things they just throw in there because they know they're going to get money that, elsewhere and stuff. But it's a insignificant part of the weekend. It's just one more little thing. And I think that's going to be a really cool thing to this weekend because, Friday night you throw it in there, but you're doing some cool stuff with it. The participation thing kills me. That's awesome. I love
I
that.
think, dude, it's hilarious. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
we're gonna piss off people that take beard comp seriously in this club, and they're gonna be like, "Man, what the fuck? Like, that's a requirement to place in a beard comp." And I'm like,
Well,
I
you know
think we
what? You
need to
just
poke
did.
at ourselves a little bit. Yeah,
You just
we
did.
need to joke a little bit.
Well, I mean, you've basically already set it up that way. Placing in a beard comp. Who's determined what is a true placing? If you can say that you placed in a beard comp, and you have a certificate that says you placed in a participation category of a beard comp, then I guess, hey, you can hang that up on your wall and say you did it. Um,
Yeah,
that's
it's
great.
not for me to decide anymore. So that's on somebody else to say if that's legit. So I guess I'm over here just causing the ruckus when like. So I guess when they go to do the elite patch, they're like, "Oh well, we don't know if we recognize that as a real placement." But I mean, technically, the way it's written, yeah, it is.
Well, you know what?
But
We're in a different era of people nowadays, and that goes beyond BV. Participation
yeah.
trophies have become a common thing, and so hey, maybe it can be accounted for. I think that's awesome. So we've always talked about. I mean, we've always had a plan, or you've always had a plan for a meet and greet on Friday night, and then you just kind of filtered it into, okay, we're going to do this quick little beard comp thing in there. And then, well, let's just do this. Can you just, we'll start off with the schedule for the week or for the weekend and just take us through that real quick. And then we'll pivot a couple things on some stuff. But we start off on
Yeah,
Friday. I know there's some people coming into town Thursday, but that's just meet up with
dude,
guys if you can, right?
they're coming earlier than that. Like it is. I'm so excited that people could, but one of the things, dude, I know you're in that chat. It literally kills me every day. I see that the freaking day, the counter. I don't know if like I'm very a cool guy. Like y'all, if y'all know me in PV, you hardly ever see me like sweat. But to go in there for an event that this size with so many moving parts and see those guys in there, 20 days left, 19 days left. Like, dude, it's like a fucking counter on my heart, just like don't, and they love it.
Yeah.
But no, there's people coming in super early. Dan from LA, his family's actually coming in the Sunday before and staying with my wife and I over here in
Wow.
Lafayette. And
Wow.
they're gonna, dude, yes. But I owe it to Dan and them. You know, they're such great people. And
Yeah.
back in the early days, Chevy and I literally slept on their couch every time we went to LA. So I feel like it's and I've been over there quite a bit. Like I think I've been to Dan and Megan's house like 5 different times.
Yeah.
Um, they
Yeah.
even took me for my birthday to Universal Studios one year out there. So
Yeah. They seem to be kind of like the old school West Coast, stop, the old
the
version of
Batcave,
of an Airbnb. Well, the Batcave,
yeah,
yeah, but they were like the West Coast Airbnb for BV
pretty much,
back in
pretty
the day.
much.
All right, so let's
Oh, the schedule,
yeah, so let's get through there. So we did a Friday night, right? We know what meet and greet. Where's it at again? Remind us.
Oh, Zoning Match Beer Project. Great people. They literally given us the run of the place. They're like, they have a food truck on site, so that's cool. They have a beer with we had some issues trying to get it bottled, but they do have a beer on tap with our logo of the event. And if I'm not wrong, $1 per pour goes to the charity they're going to donate. So that's
Very
really
cool.
cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, and it's a great backyard. They got a stage there. So that would be the beer comp, probably depending on how big it gets. I think we have maybe, last time I checked with Jason, I think we have 35 contestants at the moment.
Oh, can
Um,
you pre-register for that?
yeah, it's on the website, LouisianaVillains.com. You can do all your tickets, and it has, and that's, we know people don't read notes because I've been getting the question a lot.
No.
On there, there's a whole big section where you could buy both day tickets. I believe now that we just got the merch in because that was another ordeal. Um, so Jason's going through all that. We're going to try to throw some back on the websites of the extra stuff we have. But yeah, that's where you could get all your tickets, your merch. There's information, everything else. Sponsors, you can check out all our sponsors because we were very fortunate of having a bunch of great sponsors. I think there's some other people now. Of course, so when the final flyer is put out, now there's other people like, hey, can we be a sponsor too? And I'm like, I can't promise you being on any of the items because the trophies. I guess I'll tell. I don't know how many people know about it, but the trophies are actually paddles.
Okay.
Like miniature crawfish paddles. Metal is for first, second, and third are like these very smaller. Because I didn't want to go too big because y'all can't put that in your luggage.
Right. Sure.
So yeah, so it's like a 2 foot metal paddle, and I think it's 16 inches on the wood one.
Okay.
But they have the sponsorship logos on the back and stuff like that.
Wow.
So it's cool stuff.
No,
But yeah, so
badass.
that's Friday is the beard comp. Um, that I would recommend a lot of people either Uber or drive. It's it's not on a great side of town, but it's not super far from the event hotel either. It's like a 12-minute drive.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely don't try to walk that. I had one person like, man, can I walk it? It says it's I want to say it was like 2 miles or something like that. I was like, you do not, for one, want to walk in New Orleans in the summertime for 2 miles, um, let alone by yourself. But well, we have had this conversation. I've told you before. I'm like, that's a good area, but it's also New Orleans. Pay attention where you're walking. But yeah, so I know I'm ADD. So yeah, so that's Friday. Saturday, the doors open at 6:30. The event kind of starts at 7. There's DJ stuff like that. We're going to, I don't know exactly what's going to line up, like what's going to be the raffles and stuff at what time frames. But once we get all that lined out, we'll let y'all know type of stuff. But there will be auction items, vendors and stuff like that. Silent auction, please go buy shit. Definitely, we have a bar limit, so definitely try to drink as much as y'all can there responsibly.
Yes.
But
That's one of those things that's like people need to pay attention to help you guys out. And that's one of the things I wanted to bring up because when you get a venue like this, it's almost like you guys are, because this place that I looked online, this place that this is at, it basically is hosts weddings a lot. And
a bar. It turns into a specialty bar at times. Yeah.
Yeah. So, because that's the structure of what they do a lot of times, you basically are paying for a wedding is kind of the way you're doing this. It's kind of like you're paying for a wedding that you're not even going to or benefiting from. And because when you do that, and I've just been through this myself with my daughter. If you're not familiar, folks, with this, when you do these kind of events, you have to prepay a certain amount regarding the alcohol. And that is just to get the alcohol in the door, set up with people to serve it to you. And then, then you can have it. So, and you have to prepay a certain amount, to do that. And so I think sometimes people don't recognize that. And then you have to be able to, in order to do that, then the event space assumes then that you're going to sell X number of dollars worth of, said beverage. And it's a plan, man. It's a lot to kind of guesstimate and try and figure out. So not an easy task. Not an easy task. I don't envy you at all for having to do that, but it's good for people to know. Hey, get in there, get your drink on. Maybe drink some water in between, but keep drinking because Louisiana needs you to drink.
So that was part of the thing because we were hoping at one point to be able to have like the food and the alcohol included, but man, things nowadays are so freaking expensive. On the top of what we had already figured out to cover with food, if y'all wanted to have like not even crazy like the premiums and stuff like that, we would have to charge y'all another $30 per person to have alcohol paid for in advance. It was ridiculous. And then a lot of people are hitting us where they're like, well, we don't drink, we don't want to do that. And I'm like, so we ended up just putting being like, look, we'll cover basically a down deposit on the alcohol, and we're like hoping everybody drinks. So the venue is really great. Like they worked with us a lot of stuff. And like you said, I don't think a lot of people pay attention to how much stuff costs nowadays.
No.
So their original deposit for just a basically beer, water, some spirits and stuff like that was $16,500.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So the charity, the venue actually, they love what we're doing and they want to like help us out with this. They actually lowered it down to 11.5.
Wow.
So if everybody drinks the $11,000, 11.5 minimum, we get our 11.5 back. That we can help move those numbers around and try to give to charity as much possible as we can.
Okay.
So definitely drink responsibly.
And in this case, responsibly means a lot, but do it.
Just
if you
don't
can do
fight.
it responsibly, yeah. Just have fun.
Yeah, because
just have fun, but do it with find the people that said they're not going to drink, and let them. But you know what? Hey, Uber. There's no excuse. There is no excuse anymore for you to put yourself behind the wheel of a car after you've been drinking a lot, because we've already said now 3 times, Uber, or Lyft, or whatever it is you want to do. Find one of those and just get to and from those places much easier. But
for more reasons though. Because for one, I don't. You know how they always make the jokes about Louisiana roads and stuff like that. You're going to see that in New Orleans. It's the worst of the worst. There's potholes that you can actually go sit in, and you're like you're like you're sitting down, and you're just going to see your neck. You don't want to be driving on some of those back roads, like behind some of these buildings. So if for multiple reasons you want to get an Uber or Lyft for your safety, and you don't want to have to basically break your car.
Yes.
So it's important.
Yeah, there's lots of pluses there, lots of pluses, but it's good. I'm glad that you were able to point out the alcohol issues, financially wise. So it's one of those really cool things that if we break to that 11, then all of that, it's like this big old pile of money goes right back into their pocket.
It's a sigh of relief,
Yeah. Yeah, I think we need to have there needs to be like some sort of an alarm or a button that you can push when you know that you've reached that amount.
Oh, if they tell me, I would definitely announce that shit. That would be so funny. Like it's all lagniappe after this. It's just extra. But no. But we have been fortunate enough with everything to be able to cover all the cost of the venue and the alcohol and decorations and stuff. But it would be great if we make the minimum where now we can just so much more we could give to the charity, and also don't have to sweat at night if all this is going to break out even and shit. But I have faith in it. I've been to a lot of these stuff for the year, and there's so many people, dude, just from just from reservations at the main hotel and everything else, dude, there's no way we don't have 300 and some people going. Like the numbers are there. Like just the main hotel alone, there's 140 people, 140 reservations.
Wow.
Those people didn't come by themselves. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's just going to be an awesome weekend, no matter which way you look at it. It's just, there's going to be so many people there just wanting to hang out, have fun, and be positive. And that's what we told people in safety at the venue and stuff. It wasn't optional. It comes with a shared apartment detail outside and supposed to be armed security inside. So everybody should be able to have fun responsibly, and there should be no issues.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. Yeah, I was worried about. You're always worried about that when you have an event coming up, because even if you have a chat for that event, right? Typically, you can always
Half,
say
yeah.
at least like you figure it. But I wouldn't say half, but yeah, I always figure on like 30% are absolutely not coming. Whatever number
Yeah.
you have in that room, 30% are not coming, because there's always some people that have determined they can't come, but they still want to be in the room to hear about things and read about things and whatnot. And so they stay in that chat. But yeah, so you always figure on at least 30%. But then to hear the numbers that you're already talking, that they have that many rooms already, that's awesome. That's really good to know, because the largest world meet that I've been to in attendance that I've been to, I would say was probably LA, just in
It was a
numbers of
good
people.
size.
And so, but I don't even know if they reach 300. So, yeah, I don't.
Well, DSV New Orleans, like that was massive. We didn't get an official photo shoot, but the venue itself, they usually said on a Saturday they only had like 600 people, and yet we were pushing. It was like nine something. It was
Wow,
massive. So we definitely had the first big meet in New Orleans. It was 250 plus.
wow,
It was a monster of a meet. So I'm
that's
not
great.
surprised. Like, yeah.
That's great. That's great. Well, that yeah, I mean, it's don't yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing the numbers of people that show up. When you have a meet like that, the cool thing is that just around town, if you're going to like the World War II Museum or you're going to some other site, you're going to run into a couple of guys just because there's the sheer number of people that are there. Even if it's a big city, it doesn't matter. I know, heck, when we were out in L.A., there were times you're walking around L.A. and you just start running into random BV people,
Hmm.
just because they're all there too, and so kind of a cool little feature that you end up with. But all right, so that takes us through Saturday. So we don't have anything to worry about after you have the great night Friday night. You can sleep it off a little bit if you need to, and prep yourself for the for Saturday night. Nothing fancy or planned. Guys can use that Saturday afternoon to sightsee or do whatever else they want to. Right?
Yeah, that's what we're kind of hoping now. Everybody's keep pushing. I know a lot of people have reached out, and Eddie is great about trying to help people over there. Like people wanted to do some of the tours and everything else. So there's definitely a lot going on. It's just not official. I've seen guys in chat rooms trying to organize swamp tours and all kind of stuff, and it's going to be hard not to have something to do. But like you said, it's optional. Like this event's later in the evening, so whatever you do even Friday night, because people are going to want to go to Bourbon Street, bless their hearts, but they could kind of sleep that off and, be ready for Saturday. Now, I know Swamp, he's working on something for like a unofficial Sunday type of breakfast brunch type thing. He's going to be working on a flyer for that, and then we'll be throwing that out there. But we didn't want to throw too many things out there where y'all can't go and sightsee and do stuff.
Sure.
Um, the New Orleans has so much. Like you said, the World War II Museum is such an amazing thing. Like, dude, it's an awesome freaking museum. Um,
I
what
said that
else they
because
had around?
I said that one because it's on my list. So,
It is. It's
um,
awesome.
yeah, good. Um, is there anything that after the event, after the formal event closes down? So I think did you say it was supposed to be 4 hours? About the Saturday night event is going to be? Is it 4 hours
Well,
or
we're paying from basically 6 to 11.
okay?
But by any times, like, dude, if we're not going to keep everybody there, we're hoping before the night's over, we could, we all take a big group photo and stuff like that. Um, that way we have some kind of like, the official photo, type of stuff. But we're not really like keeping people there type of stuff. If you're tired and shit like that, or you had already a long week, hopefully people kind of, you kind of, what do you call, break it down a little bit, do
Yeah,
it in intervals. You don't have to get shit faced the first night, but yeah, there's always that
pace
option. You could
pace yourself, people. Pace yourself.
that's what I couldn't think of the word.
Yeah.
It's late, BP.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
trying to keep up.
it's a long week for you already. This, like we've talked
Yeah.
about, this is your super busy time. So I'm taking right now I'm taking away from your sleep time. So I I appreciate you being on here. Is there going to be anything I've heard people ask, but I never saw any answers. Do you guys have any plans, or is it just going to be like a quick suggestion after the event Saturday night if guys want to go hang out somewhere else, go to some other bar or something like that? Is it just going to be basically everybody on your own, or are you going to recommend a couple places to go to after hours, or do you have any
Um,
unofficial plans for something like that?
we talked about having some kind of like unofficial, like, hey, this is where majority of us are probably going to go hang out type thing. I don't have a lockdown place now. There's so many
Okay.
cool things in New Orleans, and then I know some of these guys, like, if you've never been to Bourbon, they're going to want to go to Bourbon.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to Bourbon. A lot of my guys who are from here, we don't want to go to Bourbon. And I mean, I am it's hard, not to love the dueling pianos at Pato's and stuff, or if you make the walk all the way to Lafitte's, which is the oldest continuous bar in America.
Okay.
Um, it's a cool place. They don't even have power. They get the power from next door. It's pretty funny. But no, it's a cool place to check out. It's Lafitte's blacksmith shop. It's the oldest continuous working bar in America,
Wow.
and it's a very tourist type thing. But I think if you've never been to New Orleans, it's something definitely you want to be like, I've been there type of thing.
Yeah.
Um, I'm hoping as closer things get, we have time to kind of write down like a quick list of like, hey, this is places we highly recommend you go to type of stuff. Um, you know, there's
Yeah.
just so much to do. It's like New Orleans. It's hard to really grasp New Orleans in a weekend. Like, and if you stay too long, you're broke and everything else. But
It's kind of like Vegas
it's
in that way.
it is. It's super expensive and it's highly dangerous on more than one level. You can have too much fun. Um, Jails are not fun in New Orleans. They deal with a lot of drunk people, so they're not too crazy about that. But no,
It
it's a very cool place.
it cracks me up to hear you talk so highly, so often about the potential dangers, and I'm like, it makes it sound like it's worse than Chicago or some of these New York or some of the cities that you hear about all the time. You know, I mean, if you're not from there, I would not think of New Orleans as being like a top 10 danger spot for people, but I don't live there,
Oh,
so
it's been on the list of most dangerous place multiple times throughout,
all
out
right.
its
Well,
time. It's just one of those.
we won't talk about that.
Well,
We want to push people to come.
no,
We have
yeah,
a couple
yeah.
weeks to go. We want to tell people they need to be there rather than be worried
They
about
do.
being
It's
there.
just keep your mind. I mean, keep your your head. Watch where you go, type of stuff. And like I've been going there all my life, and I've yet to have a single problem. So it's just don't do stupid stuff where you're a visitor.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Okay. I'm trying to think what other things. So let's remind everybody what we're doing this for this weekend. You have a charity in mind that you're raising the money for, and we need to cover that for sure because it's a really cool charity that you guys have come up with. Can you describe that to everybody?
Yeah, so it's Nobody Fights Alone New Orleans. It's a great local charity that they help the families try to focus on battling with cancer than keeping their mind on the bills and stuff. And it's a very close to heart type of thing because like Casey, girlfriend slash wife, whatever you want to call her, her cousin actually was a recipient of help from them. So it's something that's close to her and her family and everything else. And me too, Brittany, I know Brittany like over the years and stuff like that. So it's a great charity. And especially it sucks, but cancer is a big thing in our club right now. We lost Mike and everything else. So it's definitely something that should hit home with a lot of people.
Yeah. 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 I mean, and the other thing too is you hear occasionally about, another brother that's popping up that now is battling cancer too. And anytime you're a part of a club that has between 4 and
That many.
5,000 people worldwide, you get to know these guys sometimes on a pretty personal level. And whether you see them all the time, whether you even meet them ever once, guys get connected to each other and talk to each other and share stuff with each other. And inevitably, these things are going to happen. You're going to meet these people into really bad and struggle bus type situations. And cancer is one of those things that it doesn't hide from anybody. And so I think it's really cool that you guys chose this organization to help out with this event. That's great. What else have we not covered? I want to make sure if guys, I'm trying to think of other things that I think of when guys are thinking about coming into town for an event. Best thing that they can do for themselves sounds like go out to the chapter site for the event and prepay for as much as you can, so that we're not trying to worry about paying for things at the event, right?
Yeah, Beard Comp, man, definitely take the time to get pre-registered for the Beard Comp. Like I said, if you just want to donate and just have fun with it, man, there's an endless amount of certificates you can. We have enough participation certificates for everybody. So you pay your $10, you can wave at everybody, walk across the stage, and if you've never experienced it, it's something cool to experience.
There you go. And then okay, so for Saturday, at the event, the main event, there's going to be, you said silent auction. Is there going to be any live auction stuff as well, or just silent auction and then raffle?
There is some cool items. Maybe we might switch those to live.
Okay.
One cool item I actually have is from a artist, and it's a paint. Well, my hands are out the screen, but it's a painting. It's a custom painting they made for us with pelicans and stuff like that. So that would be a cool item to see. And I got them to make it kind of small enough to be able to get into luggage.
Oh,
It's pretty cool. She is a great artist, and I would love to take it home myself. So yeah, I'm going to have to spend some money on that.
Perfect.
We have vendors too. I forgot we all have vendors there too.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have vendors. So bring money, and possibly be prepared that you might be able to pay for some things with any of the apps that are out there. But don't plan on it. I hate to see when guys assume that you're going to be able to pay with that. A lot of people now have their own credit card machines or ways to pay with credit cards at some of these events, but don't plan on it. Just plan on coming, and that's why I always suggest if you have a way like you've set up where you can prepay for some of these things, and it sounds like you can pretty much do everything you need to do prepaying for the weekend, because you can buy your tickets in advance for Saturday, you can buy your stuff for Friday night. The only thing that's not going to cover you is probably can't do raffle tickets online, right?
Funny enough, we're looking. We were talking that today in the lieutenant call, and I think we're looking into maybe having the raffles and stuff there too. But I can't speak for all the vendors, but we will have payment option like credit cards and stuff like that. We'll have readers, and like most newer phones now, if your credit card has the touch thing, your phones actually accept the NFC reader through the phone. You don't even need an app anymore and stuff.
Right.
Oh, I mean, you don't need the actual reader, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But like you said, you can't plan for everybody though. So definitely be prepared to have cash.
Be prepared with cash if need be, for sure. All right. And then also I know you've had some success with people bringing items in or sending items to you for the raffles and whatnot. If anybody is listening to this and knows they're coming, can people still just get a hold of you if they want to bring something from the chapter that they represent, maybe to put in for the raffle? I know I'll be bringing some stuff down from us, but I just want to make sure, put that out there. Maybe hopefully people that aren't thinking about it, maybe think about it, because every little bit helps. And you never know, at a situation like this, where it's truly an international event where there's people from other countries coming, you never know who might be interested in getting your patches or your thing or your hat or whatever else it is, because they can't get that on a regular basis. So you may think of it as nothing, nobody wants this patch. You'd be surprised. Throw it into a raffle, and you'd be surprised. People might put in for it.
Dude, exactly. Like, dude, every bit helps. Like, it's not like the charities can't use it. Extra $5, extra $5. So, if you are going to donate something on arrival, definitely let me know so I can get you in contact with Jason. And then, if possible, if we could try to get it from you the Friday night, if you're coming in before Saturday, just to kind of make things easier for Jason, can already have the sheets written out with the items and stuff like that. So no, we'll definitely take it on arrival and stuff.
Perfect. All right, man. Morgan, I appreciate so much taking some time out with me. I know it's been a tiring week for you, and you've got a long week still ahead. But I'm excited. We're how many days? I don't even want to say. It's just. Hey,
2 weeks?
I've
No,
lost.
is it?
Yeah, it's less than, isn't it now, or just
No,
just
no,
over?
it's a little bit more.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think it's 2 weeks yet. Well, are we the? Well, let me hold on. Let me check with the phone.
it'll be 2
Oh,
weeks.
we're
It's
we're
2
the
weeks from
17th.
Friday. 2 weeks from
Yes,
Friday.
there we go.
Yeah, plenty of time to make extra arrangements. I've already seen it in chat in the chat that there's been people that have been like, I want to go, but I don't have a ride. So if anybody's driving through this state, swing by, pick me up, and that kind of stuff is fun to see because it works. If you're interested in going and you're somewhere on the way, throw it out there in the event chat. Somebody might be able to come by and pick you up. You probably still have to find a place to stay, but that's an option too because a lot of times you'll be able to find roommates. So don't rule it out. If you've never been to a big event like this, people, you need to go. It's something to behold for sure. So, do you have anything else for me that you wanna share or let everybody know anything about, or are we good? I don't know. I don't know what
Oh
else you want to share.
man, we probably could talk for hours. But I mean, I sent you the flyer at some point if you want to pop that up on your up on there for everybody. I think that's it, man. I
Bing,
just Bing. Yeah,
bing.
I'm
It's
just
there.
I'm excited for everything, and I know once the day comes, like I'm just going to be able hopefully to enjoy it and spend time with as much people as we can and have a good time. But no, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you inviting me on here and to get the word out a little bit about it and stuff.
Yeah,
I think we covered
yeah.
all your topics.
Yeah, I think so. You know what? And like I say, I think you have done a really good job of anybody that's been listening to you in the chats, be it any of the chats that are out there that you're a part of. I think you've done a good job of trying to remind guys why this is here and what it's about, what the event is going to be about. And my hope and your hope, I know, and a lot of people's hope is that all of the extra crap that's going on stays extra crap that's out and that guys can see past any kind of personal differences or beliefs. I've actually seen it happen. And I was at one of my first events recently, post, BV change up, um, or whatever, the snap, whatever we want to call it. I mean, in BV circles. And I got to see it for the first time where there were guys that you just didn't know what it was going to be like having a whole bit, a group of people together, and everybody saw past all that crap, and there were discussions that were had, and it was great, and it was, I mean, really good talks, and brothers just being brothers, and that's what it comes down to in the end. And I think if guys just remember that, this is going to be a really, really fun event.
Yeah, no, and from everybody I talked to, everybody is going to respect the meet, respect us as a chapter. Because I did tell people in chats, and I'm sure you've seen, like, I'm not going to be joking around with people about
Yeah,
this. It's a, basically, it's a fun, friendly environment. If there's issues, it's going to be dealt with very quickly. Um, like I say, I am paying for the sheriff department and the security to be there, and I don't think it's ever going to come to stuff like that, but I want people to know that we're definitely taking everything seriously to make sure that everybody has a fun, safe time at
yeah,
our event.
yeah. Perfect. All right, Morgan, I look forward to seeing you, man. I know I'll bring my stuff down Friday night for you for the event for Saturday. So, but anybody else that can help out, that can bring some stuff down, throw it in a raffle, please do. They can use every bit they can. And then don't forget to drink. It's weird that we have to say that.
Safely.
It's
I
yeah,
know, safely.
safely. Don't forget to safely drink on Saturday night.
Yeah.
If you need to be alcohol free one night, then do that maybe Friday night. Take
Or
take it
Sunday. Sunday. Yeah.
take it light on Friday or Sunday, but have the fun and do it responsibly on Saturday. Morgan, thanks so much, man. I'll let you go. Have a great night, and we'll see you in just over 2 weeks, man.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, BP.
All
You have
right,
a good one.
I'll talk to you. All right, hey, that was a long interview, but man, so much information. I hope you guys can kind of glimpse and understand the pivot points and the way that they had to kind of move things around a bit just to make this thing happen. So we need to make sure we're supporting them as best we can for this great charity that's supporting cancer initiatives and fighting that battle, man. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So thank you so much, Morgan, for sharing that information and talking with me about that event. Hey, I'm going to try to follow suit on what I said here, that we said we were going to do here. Let's see. Bing! Right over the top of my big old noggin here on the camera. I didn't get a chance to put a fancy slide over there with it, but let's talk for a second about this this flyer here, and very cool stuff. This is the banner, the flyer for the event, and they have a ton of chapters that are supporting them. They're helping to be sponsors, donors, or some capacity here. So very cool to see. But get out there if you want to find out which chapters are supporting. Help out, give a shout out to those chapters. By all means, please do so. It's a wide variety of a whole bunch of different chapters out there. So it's really great to see all that support. So thank you guys so much, everybody that is supporting Louisiana Villains on this in this matter, for sure. Hey, whether you're navigating the rugged terrain of the great outdoors or conquering the concrete jungle of the urban landscape, Bigfoot Beard Company has you covered. Bigfoot products are made of natural ingredients designed to help maintain a healthy, rich beard without leaving it all greasy and heavy. From classic cologne-inspired fragrances to fruity, earthy tones, there's sure to be a scent for every occasion. With worldwide shipping available, why not take an opportunity to walk on the wild side? Head over to www.bigfootbeardco.com today. That's www.bigfootbeardco.com. Grab some Bigfoot beard products, boys and girls. I'm sure the girls could find a reason. Good stuff, good stuff. All right. Hey, you guys have been awesome tonight. I've loved the all of the talk within the chat during the event. That's always such a great thing to see. And man, we have had one heck of a night. You know what? During this show, thanks to all of you people who were here live watching the show, something just happened. Something happened about 15 minutes ago, and that was that this here show, this here program, this here channel hit 1,000 subscribers over on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for that. That has been awesome. Yes, me and my fancy, cheesy sound effects. We have slid into the new echelon of what is only 9%, less than 9% really, of all YouTube channels are at 1,000 subscribers. So I thank you guys so much. Those of you who do, even occasionally, even if it's just once, check out this channel and find out what we're all about. I appreciate it, man, so much. It's been great to see. So keep spreading the word, because we'd hate to dip backwards if people start losing their accounts. We'd hate to dip backwards under that amount. So thank you guys so much for all of your continued supports as well. Hey, you know what, guys? This is going to do. I think we've come to it. We've been here for over an hour now, and man, it's time. It's time. So, you know what? We're going to just wrap this thing up. That's going to be the end of episode 222 of The Heart of a Villain. I want to challenge you guys, as I do every week, to be the villain that the world needs you to be, because the heart of a villain never stops beating. The most important words I say every week, guys, it's this. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. If you are hurting, please find a brother to talk to. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. But just knowing it, saying it, and acknowledging it's not enough. You need to take the steps to talk to somebody. So please do. Hey, until next week, guys, that's going to wrap it up. I hope you guys have an awesome night, an awesome Friday, and an awesome, awesome, awesome weekend. Until next week, take care, stay safe.
From the start to the finish, go hard and we win, and it's the heart of a villain, it's the heart of a villain. From the start to the finish, go hard.